Hello architecture students. Today I'm going to show you how to make the roof section detail, and we're just going to use a very simple roof section design, and this is basically what it's going to end up looking like. I think I've got everything in here. I may have forgotten something, but I'll certainly address that on the video or in class. But this is basically your annotated version. So you can use this video to annotate after you're done. I'll also upload a photograph of the finished product so you can just, follow the annotation from there. But I'm going to show you how to put it together, which is very easy. All right, I'm going to start things from my roof plan over here in my project browser. Now, don't pay attention to the fact that I have several roof plans, and I have that because of teaching different classes and doing the videos. So don't worry about that. You should just have one roof plan. If you want more than one, go right ahead and make more than one. But you really only need one roof plan. So I'm in my roof plan right here. I am going to go to the section tool, which is right up here in the quick access toolbar. I'm going to pick a spot to draw a section through, such as right here. Now, if you're like me and the element does not show up on your roof plan, that's okay. I'm going to show you how to fix that. Okay. Now, I think originally I told you guys when you had section views from your lower levels that were showing up to hide those by category. You just select one and hide them by category. But that wasn't the best thing to tell you, because then every time you draw one like I just did, it's not going to show up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the light bulb right here, and that shows all of my section views that have come through. I'm going to end up having to delete some of those for sure. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, or actually I'm going to activate one of them first. So I'll zoom in, activate, right click, and then unhide in view category. Unhide in view category. Okay, that unhides all of those. So I'm going to click back on the light bulb to turn it off. Now you can see all my section views are back. Okay. And I'm just going to hide these. Now, it's not a good idea at the moment to delete these from this particular view. Just hide them individually right now. The only one I'm going to keep visible is the one that I just drew, and that should be roof plan. Nope, that wouldn't be roof plan number 4. It'll have to be a section. Okay, it should be section, I'm thinking section 8. Nope, that's the one that I have annotated already. Okay, roof section 1, that's one that I've annotated. Okay, honestly, I don't know where the one that I just created is at. Let's go back to roof plan. Let me double click on, let's say this one. Yep, I've been working on that one already. Okay, so this is the roof plan that I just created. And if I go up here, I can see that it is section 10. Okay, so this one's going to be another roof plan. I'm going to go down here in my sections. Okay, there's roof section 1. There's section 10. I'm going to rename that. Okay, and I'm going to call this one roof section 2. Now, you don't need to do that, okay, because you only need one, again. But this is the one I'm going to show you for this video. So roof section 2. I probably should just name it roof section video or something like that. Okay, but I typically end up getting very confused after a while because I've been showing people this so many times. But you want to draw the box. You want to draw the box up right here. Now you probably don't have this section or level 3. And I'm actually going to hide that one. Hide in view element. Okay. And I'm going to draw this box right up to about right in here, and then take this one, bring it down to about right here. That way I have this view of my roof. Okay, and we'll just kind of slide some more things around. Zoom into it, and that is my roof right there. And I've got to make this into a section detail. So there's a couple of things also that you see here that I did not show you in class. That's going to be the soffit and the fascia. I'm going to show you also how to do that. So let's actually do that soffit and fascia first. So how do you place a soffit and fascia? Well, you're going to do it from, the best one to do it from is a roof plan. So we're going to go to an empty roof plan. Here's a good one. And I want to place a soffit. Now, I've already got a soffit on my plan, so I don't want to double place the soffit, but I still need to show you how to do it. So there's going to be some discrepancies here that hopefully won't confuse you too much. All right, now, first thing I want to do is go over to the Architecture tab and the Roof tool. Click on that, and we're going to do the Roof soffit first. So we click on Roof soffit, hover into our page, and look, I can see the wall underneath popping up. Okay, so it's seeing the wall underneath. I'm currently in the Pick Walls tool, which is okay if you're in that tool, okay? You want to make sure that when you click on these walls that that pink line shows up on the outside of the wall. So I'm going to click here, and there's that pink line. It shows up on the outside. So I'm going to go and click on the next segment, and then this segment right here. All right, because I have a gabled roof, I'm not going to be putting soffit over here from this particular view. I'm going to actually do it in a different view, which we're not going to cover that in this video. Okay, now here, again, make sure that pink line shows up on the outside of the wall. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select the line tool. Okay, so I'm going to go to the line tool, and I'm going to trace over the outside ledge, and then bring this line down to where it meets where this lower horizontal line meets, okay? And of course, make any adjustments that you have to as you go along. Okay. Drag that to there. And drag this to here. And then put another line here with the line tool. Okay, so that completes the soffit on that side. Now, you want to go ahead, you'd probably pause the video right here and go ahead and complete your soffit over here as well. Okay, and I'm just going to do this side just for the video. I'm just going to do that side. I'm not going to drag you through all that. But go ahead and pause the video and finish your soffit over here. Now, after you finish drawing your soffits, don't forget to hit the green check mark. And if you have any warnings, it says here, I cannot have overlapping lines, so I'm going to fix that. I'm going to hit continue. It's saying this line for some reason is overlapping. I'm going to delete it and kind of draw it again out to the edges, and then click that green check mark. Okay, now my soffits are done. Okay, now I'm going to go back into that section view number 2, roof section number 2, and here is my soffit. Okay, of course I've got this one down here already, but I'm going to show you how to adjust this soffit to make it look like this one down here. Okay, so I'm going to go over here to the type selector. You see I have roof soffit generic 4-inch. I'm just going to click on edit type, duplicate, and I'm just going to name it 3/4 inch soffit. Click OK. Then you click on the edit right here by the structure row, right here under the material column. Change this, just use plywood sheathing. Okay. And then here for thickness, you're going to change that to 3/4 inch. And you're going to click OK. Now everything is correct. We're going to click apply and OK, and now our soffit is the correct size. The next thing I'm going to do while it's still selected is I'm going to use the arrow keys, and I'm going to bump it down. Okay, I'm going to bump it down until it is right where this one is. You see where this one is? It comes right to that very corner right there. So you're going to bump this down until it gets right where this one is at right here. Now, I'm going to delete this one. Do not delete yours. I'm going to delete mine because I've already got one. So I've deleted it. Okay, next thing we're going to do is this fascia board right here. So we're going to go back up to that roof plan. I forget which one. I think we were on 4. Was it 4? No. It was this one. Okay. We're going to go back here and we are going to create the fascia. Okay. Now again, I've already got a fascia on this model, but I'm going to show you how to make one, and then I'm going to delete mine as I go along. Okay, so go back up to the roof tool, and here it says fascia, roof fascia. Okay, you're going to click on that, and for now you're going to click on every edge that is sloped. Okay, so here I've got gabled ends. I'm not going to click on those. There's a different way of placing fascia on gabled ends, and we will go over that at some other point. Right now we just want to place fascia so we can get our roof section detail completed. So I'm going to place fascia here, so I'll just hover over that. Now if you're in 3D and you're looking at your actually I'm not in 3D, but if you're in 3D and you're looking at your roof plan like this, you're going to hover over that top edge, okay, over the top edge of the roof like this, and you're going to click, and it's going to place that fascia board on there. So just do that on both sides. Again, don't worry about doing it on this side just yet. We will get to that at some other point. That will be some other advanced lesson. So after you place your fascia, now fascia is real easy. You're going to come back to your drawing, your section detail, and then this board will be there. Okay. And there's one thing I don't like about this in this drawing is it doesn't show the shingles coming over the fascia, because the shingles do overlap the fascia, and I'm also going to show you how to fix that as we go along. So for now, come down here to the status bar and click on this icon right here where it says Detail Level Coarse. I'm going to click on that and change the detail level to Fine. Now, a lot of the drawing has just been done for you by Revit. Okay, all this stuff, all these lines have been added by Revit. Let's focus on the wall itself. Now, if we're looking at the wall, you can see this first layer right here. Whoops, that is your drywall. This layer right here, that is your studs. That is your wall studs. That is the interior skeleton of the wall. This right here is your sheathing. Okay, and then on the outside of that sheathing, just right here, is going to be that vapor barrier. And this area here is your airspace, your 1.5 inch airspace. Don't forget that. And these are your exterior brick finish. Okay. One other thing I want to do real quick is change my scale. I'm going to go down here to the scale section. It's currently set at 1/4 inch equals 1. We need to change that to 1/2 inch, or 1.5 inch equals 1 foot. We do that always for these section views, unless otherwise told. Okay, and I'm going to come in here, again, here's my wall, right here in the section where the studs are going to be at. I'm going to hide this line, okay, just that little segment of the line right here in the section where the interior skeleton is going to be. So I'm going to go to the masking tool. I'm going to click on Annotate tab. Here's the region tool. If I click on the drop down, the masking tool is going to be right under it. So I click on that, and I'm just going to draw a mask starting right here. I'm going to draw down a little bit, draw across to the other side, come up and over. And right now, this is set for thin lines. I don't want the lines to be visible. Okay. So I'm going to hit the escape button a couple of times, and I'm going to do a selection window, select all those lines, turn them into invisible lines. Okay, now I'm going to hit the green check mark, and there's our mask. I'm going to hit the escape button, and you'll see that line is hidden. A little bit of these lines is hidden also, but that is okay. We can replace those. Or actually, they tend to come back too once you change your zoom in and zoom out level. So right here we have, this is where our double top plates are going to go. Where our wall is made, we have double top plates right here in this wall structure. So that's 2 pieces of 2x4 that are laid flat. Okay, so the height of that, if I've got 2 pieces of 2x4, now remember, a 2x4 is not 2 inches by 4 inches. It is actually 1.5 inch by 3.5 inches. Okay, the 1.5 inch direction is this way. The 3.5 inch direction is this way. Okay, just like your walls has 3.5 inch 2x4s inside of it. All right, so what I want to do is draw that double top plate right here. I'm going to use a detail line. I'm going to come right here, and I'm just going to draw down How far? What is 1/2 plus 1/2 inch? Or I'm sorry, not 1/2. 1.5 inch plus 1.5 inch is what? 3 inches. Okay. Bring it right over here to the other side. Take this all the way up and then back over. Okay, so now that's the start of my 2x4s. Next thing I want to do is draw a line right through the center to separate those two pieces of 2x4. So again, that's going to be right at 1.5 inch, which fortunately is going to be right in the middle of that line. That's going to be 1.5 inches. Okay, and now I'm going to draw my X's through those. Whoops. Okay, so that is my double top plate. Okay. All right, I'm going to add some insulation. So I don't really represent the studs in here. It's already taken that there are studs there in that wall, but I am going to draw some insulation. That's just typically how we do it. So I'm going to go to the Annotate tab, go to the Insulation tool, click on it, see what my insulation width is set at. It's currently set at 7 1/4, which actually goes in the attic. I'm going to change that to 3.5 inches. Remember, that is the width in this wall right here, 3.5 inches, because what is also that width? Our 2x4s. Okay, so I'm going to draw this down to represent the insulation. Now I've got a couple of other things I want to draw. I want to put some texture right here in my sheathing, so I'm going to label that as plywood. I am going to go to the region tool and the filled region. Okay, right here I'm set for thin lines, which is good because I'll have lines that represent my filled region as well, and I won't be hiding the lines that are already here. And I've already got it set for, well, I have it set for particle board, which is not what we want. We want diagonal crosshatch. Click in there, and you're just simply going to draw. You're going to follow the lines. Just draw right inside, right here. Okay, go across, go up, zoom in, and right there. Okay, click the green check mark. Now you have your pattern for your plywood right in there. Next, I am going to draw a 2x8 to go in here. This is a 2x8 rafter. Okay, this is a rafter. It is diagonal. Rafters are diagonal. The 2x8 I'm going to put across here perfectly horizontal is going to be a ceiling joist. So I'm going to click on a detail line. I'm going to come right to the outside edge of my wall structure, right here on the other side of those double top plates. And I'm going to click, I'm going to draw up, and I'm going to draw up 7.5 inches. 7 space 1/2 inches. Boom. And then I'm going to draw over this way and finish up right there at the end. I'm also going to split this line right here. Okay, I need to split that because this part of the line has to be a dashed line or a hidden line. So does this one. But this one is not. This one will be solid because I can see it. These lines here are going to be dashed because they are behind that 2x8. So I'm going to go to the Modify. Give me one moment. Let me move that. Click on the Split Element tool. Split it right here. Okay, I'm going to go back to the Annotate and the Line tool, and I'm going to select this line and this line, okay? And I'm going to change those to hidden. And for some reason, I forgot to hold down the Control button to select that one, so I had to do it separately. Right here, you see the corner of the piece of wood goes right through the sheathing and everything else. And what I'm going to do is click on that line. I'm going to pull it back to where the sheathing begins, right here. This one, I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, now in construction, they actually cut that little tail off. They call it a dovetail. Okay. And let's see, one other thing. Now I forgot to show other people this, but it's really a minor detail. That sheathing should come all the way up here, but it's not a big deal. And you would also want to annotate that with the region, diagonal crosshatch. There we go. Okay, so that is what the wall is going to look like. Now this 2x8 rafter sits over the top of that, they actually cut that shape out of the rafter. It's called a bird's mouth. It kind of looks like a bird's mouth. Okay, but that's how they do that. Next, I'll put some insulation for the attic. So I'm going to click on insulation again. I'm going to change the size. Now, a 2x8 is not 2 inches by 8 inches. It's actually 1.5 inch by 7 1/4 inches. If you're ever confused about that or don't remember, you can always Google it. Okay, so it's going to be 7 space 1/4 inch. And I'm going to find the center right there. Now, if you don't quite get the center and your insulation is a little bit off, just click on it to select it, and like that, and just move it up and down with your arrow keys. Okay. A couple more things to do. Now, this also is plywood, the sheathing right here for the roof. So I'm going to also do a region, and it's still set for diagonal crosshatch, and I'm going to draw through that. Whoops, I messed that up. Okay, click the check mark, and now that one has a diagonal crosshatch to represent it as plywood. Now the soffit and this board right here, the fascia, is like a particle type wood. Of course, it can be different materials. They could use plywood, they could use various types of material, but right now we're going to use particle board. Okay, so we have to make this into like a particle board pattern. I've already got one that I created myself. So I'm going to go to filled region, okay, and you see somewhere in here particle board. Okay, the way you create that is just use something like digital crosshatch for a template. Click on edit type, and I am going to have to pause here. Okay guys, I believe I was right here. We were going to create some hatching for the fascia and the soffit board. So all I'm going to do is go to, move that over. Where am I going? I'm going to annotate, filled region, and I'm using this as a template. I'm going to go to edit type, duplicate, and you definitely want to duplicate this one because you're already using that diagonal crosshatch somewhere else. So if you change it here, it's going to change it everywhere. But we're going to duplicate it. We're just going to call this one particle board. And yes, I know I had my caps lock on. Particle board, click OK. Name is already in use. Of course it is, because I already did that one once. So let me try it again. Particle B-O-A-R-D 2. You don't have to put the 2. All right, and I'm going to look down here. I was using sand dense right there, dense sand. Apply, OK. And then all we do is just draw around the fascia and the soffit. And I just draw around and make it all one piece. I think that's all of it. There we go. Oh yeah, and what I just did, because my lines, I had invisible lines. So let's go back in that and re-edit. I'm going to select all of it. Actually, let me get up here and select. Okay, and change it from invisible lines to thin lines. Okay, now my lines should show back up. There we go, we got lines now. All right, so from here, we've got to add, let's see, some structural components. I'm going to add a 2x4 right here that's going lengthwise with the wall. And then I'm going to add one that's coming out this way from the wall to the fascia. Okay, so this one is called a ledger. And of course it is a 2x4. So what size is it? It's 3.5 inches by 1.5 inches. And I'd make that line a little crooked there. And I'm going to stretch it back out, 1.5. Okay, here we go. Get back into the line tool. Down, make my X because this is a board. The end of it is cut and facing us. All right, and then draw a line from here to there, click, and then from here to there, click. Okay, and the reason I split it right here is because this part's going to be behind the rafter. Okay, it's going to be up here behind the rafter. So I want to click on that line and change it to hidden, just like that. Okay, so that's a 2x4 going across here and a 2x4 we're looking at right there. Now, underneath, we're going to put a freeze board. That freeze board, okay, is actually 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to come out 3/4 of an inch from the wall, click, and I'm going to come down. Because it's a 1x4, it's going to be 3/4 of an inch by 3.5 inches. Okay, just like a 2x4, it's only 3.5 inches wide. But unlike a 2x4, this one is 3/4 of an inch thick. Okay, and this is just to help hold all that stuff together. And they put caulking and stuff like that all around the seams, and it all looks pretty much like one piece when they're done. Okay, so we've got that. Let me see if we need any other components. Let's see. No, we really don't. Now, I like to show the shingles coming over the fascia because they really do come over the fascia. So I'm going to draw a shingle. Okay, so just drawing a shingle is real simple. Start here, and I'm going to draw up this way. Okay, and what I want to do is I want to make sure this line is touching the top of that fascia, if I can. It may not adjust that. There we go. Go back into the line tool. Draw this one kind of in an angle out like that. Stop, and then draw it up here. And make it a little bit thinner up here. I'm going to find the end of that and go up from it. Okay, and then draw down to here. So I have a shingle. Now from here you can just copy that shingle. You know, copy it about halfway up, or if you really want it to look good, go all the way to the top. But that's my shingle. That's overhanging the fascia. And now I want to draw a metal drip edge. I'm going to use medium lines right here. And this isn't the real shape of, or the total whole shape of the drip edge, but I want to draw it out this way, like so. Kind of come down like this, and then go in, and then come out just a tad, like so. Okay, so that's my drip edge. And now, of course, when I take my thin lines off and do thick lines, you can see that drip edge a lot better. Okay, so that would be labeled as the drip edge. Now that gets everything. I put a picture in Schoology that shows the full annotated version. Let's go look at that full annotated version. And here it is. Okay, so that's got all of that, all the annotations. So you can either pause here and copy all those annotations down, or go to Schoology and just look at the picture and annotate that. Okay, and then you're done.